Hello, my name is Gabriela, and I want to share my thesis project with you. In my country, Mexico, 6 of every 10 citizens prefer to give money directly through a person in need than through an organization, and only 1 out of 10 prefer to give the money through a nonprofit organization. If we translate this survey into an international landscape, as we can read in this graph, in fact, we are only giving 0.4% of the total GDP to nonprofits in my country. And from this small amount of money we give, the 65% goes to what is known as paternalistic activities. We have many examples of these activities in Mexico. These are the ones that usually get more attention. And the result of the advertising is people actively engaging and participating with these social marketing campaigns by giving money. And if we remember, from the 35% left is that amount of money that goes to other kind of activities performed by other kind of organizations. Organizations that I like to call empowerment nonprofits, because they are close to the teaching how to fish model. I have had the opportunity to know these organizations and working with them as a designer and friend, and it's in these places where I understand a more systemic approach of how to solve conflicts that are causing poverty and injustice in my country. What I'm doing is giving this empowerment nonprofit the communication tools to engage the supporters they need to thrive. And I'm doing it by taking the same approach all these organizations have taught me. Instead of communicating for them, I am designing and developing a communication with them. So the way I'm doing this is by creating a workshop. I go back home and implement this workshop with one of the empowerment nonprofit, that its name is Centro de Estudios Ecuménicos, or just simply CE. I design games and math libs for them to express their vision and mission. We did short performance for them to express their core values in different ways. We discuss a lot about their internal communications. We map the ecosystems they live in. We talk about new audiences and talk about their external communications. We do storytelling exercises and review best practices. And at the end, we sat down and ideate together a communication strategy that we're able to reach those 1 citizen out of the 10 that are willing to give money through a nonprofit. All the developed exercises were thought and focused in communicating to broader audiences, not just for getting the resources they need to these nonprofits, but also for creating a growing interest in the approach and the work these kind of organizations do. And now I want to share some of the results that I got from this workshop. They decide to create a new identity for one of their programs that is called FAP, that through this program, a donor will be able to give directly to a grassroots or communities project that this organization works with. They also decided that it was really important to have the proper structure for make donations easier and available through their website, and also refresh the online presence the program have. From the storytelling exercises, they realized that the stories of the groups they work with were telling the story of who they are as an organization and what the program is about in a better and more powerful way than any other description. So I designed simple newsletter for bringing those stories to life. I designed posters for carry on the concept of empowerment nonprofits. And also they make me realize that promotional material were important for them because they use it as tools for communication starter. We even design a low interactive map of why to become a volunteer, because they want people to engage with them, not just by giving money. Also, from the mapping and defining audience exercises, they were able to identify networks that were giving them access to current potential donors. So they decided to work in activating those networks and also create new ones. Because the way this workshop was designed from the inside out, instead just from the outside, as we designers usually do, The result is communication able to share the organization values with different audiences, making their external communication part of an advocacy strategy to change the paternalistic approach we have in philanthropy and aid to an empowered one. Also, because I walked through this workshop with them, they were able to share my creative process and incorporate it into their daily practices. Even though this workshop was especially crafted for this organization, it was thought and designed for any empowerment nonprofit, with the goal in mind for this workshop to be replicable as much as possible. And with constancy, scalability, and time, create a new balance, a more balanced distribution of the resources given to different activities to different nonprofits in my country. Thank you.